Alrighty, howdy neighbors and welcome back to My Vow to My Liege. The last time so much happened, so many people died, and that's wonderful. Now we're seeing that we could die soon, which is equally wonderful. We will persist in looking for a sacred artifact while we continue to rely on you to stabilize the sealing spell.
诺。
Understood.
不过，希望少君还答应我一件事。
God, I love his voice. But I hope that my liege will promise me one thing. What is it?
尽量少叹气，叹气呢，会将运气吹跑的。
Do try your best to sigh as little as possible. Sighing will just cause your luck to run out faster. That's a terrible thing to say. Boo. Fired. Zhangdan puts a finger on the corner of his lips, and it gives me a sly smile. I can't help but nod my head. I keep feeling a sharp stabbing pain in my chest, even if it's because of the cold that I feel from being at the bottom of the pond.
少君，大柱。
My liege, head priest. Have you found him?
臣与陈峰分头行动，山北没有发现。臣已经派人增援陈峰了。
Chen Feng and I went our separate ways to search, but I could not find anything in the hills to the north. So I sent Chen Feng some reinforcements.
相国，等少君坐下来再说吧。他在剑池底受了寒。
Prime Minister, please wait until my liege has taken a seat before continuing.
来人，给少君端碗热汤来。
Men, give our liege a hot bowl of soup.
少君，你们在池底耽搁了那么久，是不是出了什么事？
My liege, you're at the bottom of the pond for so long. Did something happen? There's a long crack in the sacred ding. We don't know if it is the doing of the dragon god's followers, or if the sealing spell is wearing out.
臣以为剑池于德鼎难破，仅凭3个信徒还不足以成事。
It would be hard to get the ding through the sword pond with just 3 followers. Is the Prime Minister trying to suggest that the dragon god's followers did not come here to break the sealing spell?
我同意相国所言，破阵礼仪秘密行事，又何必绑架其人，惹出那么大的动静呢？
I agree with the Prime Minister. Why would they kidnap someone from Kui and cause such a commotion when the way to break the spell is known to be a secret?
啊，莫非绑架齐国史官才是信徒的目的？
Unless their real goal was to kidnap the archival officer.
有可能。先王当年曾捕杀信徒，捣毁龙神庙，仅存的余孽肯定对姬无恨之入骨。绑架齐国史官，或许是为了报复。
It is a possibility. They must still resent us for executing their followers and burning down their temples. Kidnapping the archival officer was probably their way of taking revenge. Wouldn't it be easier to assassinate us instead?
虽然直接，却不是最有效的方式。
You are right, but that is not the most effective way. Wu Zishu raises his eyes to look at me, expecting me to infer what he means by the most effective way. After pondering over it for a while, the cold that the hot soup had rid me of is slowly starting to creep up from my feet. Taking someone from Kui hostage and forcing us to open the way to the sword pond would enable the dragon god to escape, which would destroy Gushu immediately.
如果胁迫不成，也可杀掉骑士，破坏齐吴联盟。齐君夫人是鲁国人，若再与晋国联合，对吴国将是个大威胁。
If we refuse to meet their demands, they may still kill the victim and cause a break in diplomatic relations between me and Kui.
好狠辣的诡计！
What a malicious plan. We want you to find the perpetrators. even if you have to dig 6 feet under to do it. The spilt blood of my father and brothers must be repaid with blood. Huizishu and Zhangdan raised their hands to make a pledge when suddenly the doors were pushed open and Chen Fang hurries in.
少君，在庙南的养鹤涧发现余孽踪迹。
My liege, I found traces of the insurgents on the south side of the temple, around the Crane Stream. Good. We will personally go and cut off their heads.
少君，你的身体。
My liege, your health. We are fine, but to be on the safe side, we would like to rely on you to safeguard the temple.
No.
Understood. For a quiet spring flows forth a tranquil stream. A few white cranes feed leisurely by its side. Gazing at this peaceful scenery, one might not think of the bloodshed that had happened here just a night ago.
少君，看那里。
My liege, look over there.
这血迹还相当新，十有八九是余孽留下的。
The trail of blood is fairly fresh. It is highly possible that it was left by the insurgents. How ingenious of them to use the stream to escape. Any traces of them would be washed away.
虎丘不大，山下又有守兵，现在还有满山的人在搜寻，躲到山林里很不明智。
Tiger Hill isn't a big place, and there are soldiers stationed at the foot of it. Right now, the hill is crawling with people, so it would be very unwise of them to try to hide in the forest. Where does the Crane Stream lead to?
北京野河流向揽月湖，南则流入姑苏城的外河。
To the north, it flows into Moon Lake. To the south, it flows to the river just outside Guizhou City.
陈峰调查过血迹周围，余孽大概已经兵分两路。
After examining the bloody tracks, I've determined that the insurgents split up and went in 2 different directions. There are many mountains around Moon Lake, so it would be easy to hide there. But the river outside Guizhou is very busy with boats and coming to and fro, so it'd be easy to escape there as well. Prime Minister, Shang Fang, which direction do you think would be most likely taken?
逆贼既然已经受伤，单打独斗反而会增加自己的风险，不如藏木于林，混迹在普通国人中间，乘船离开姑苏。
Since the intruder is injured, it would be easier to hide amongst the masses and find an opportunity to leave Guizhou.
揽月湖，
I said Moon Lake. Oh no! Oh no! I should have been paying more attention. Because he gave more of a reason. He's the personal guard, so he's trying to keep us safe. And he didn't really give a reason, so I would say this guy. The river outside Guizhou is at the foot of this hill. Even with the hostage, it would be easy for the insurgents to escape from there. Since it's already noon, we are afraid.
不必担心，陈今早下令封锁山脚时，也扣住了途经虎丘的所有船只。
No need to worry. This morning I gave the order to seal up the foot of this hill and detain all boats that were en route from Tiger Hill. Good. The Prime Minister has already taken action, so he will depart immediately to the riverside Guizhou. Chen Fang, take some men with you. Do not hesitate to kill anyone who's acting suspiciously, even if they seem to be acting as the bait.
No.
Understood. Kill them all. Huizishu and I take a carriage down the mountain. Though it's more comfortable, it is also slower. The more I think about the situation with the archival officer, the angrier I get. Prime Minister, can't we go any faster?
臣已经派了重兵看守，龙神信徒不可能逃跑，也没机会伤人。
I've already sent our strongest soldiers to keep an eye out for the insurgents. The followers of the Dragon God will have no opportunity to escape or hurt anyone. So the reason you're so calm right now is because you already knew that the followers of the Dragon God would appear.
同是祭祀龙神的巫祝，少君可知道巫贤和施家夫妇的区别？
Even though both Mage Jian and the head of the Shi clan were mages serving the Dragon God, do you know what the difference was between them? We remember that they served us for over 100 years, but Mage Jian did a lot of things in secret, such as prioritizing the Dragon God first, and the King's orders second. Toward the end, he even defied the orders of the King.
正是，当年先王妃王僚自立，以王僚为傀儡的巫贤便召集了不满之人，将他们的魂魄献给龙神，换取超凡之力。
That's right. At that time, the former king wanted to break away from the Dragon God, but Mage Jian called together all the disgruntled people and had them dedicate their souls to the Dragon God in exchange for extraordinary powers. So that is why all the followers hated the former king and made a contract with the Dragon God that was impossible to back out of.
对，余党一定会千方百计保存实力，蛰伏到可以复仇的时候。当年臣剿灭他们时，便已有这个准备了。
That is correct. The rest of the insurgents would have remained hidden until they had the power to retaliate. We were prepared for such a day when I executed all the believers years ago. They hate us and we hate them. We will not forget the shame that we had to live with all these years.
少君不忘此仇，足以告慰先王。
It would be a comfort to the former king to know that you, my liege, have not forgotten your need for vengeance. It feels like he's going to pat me on the head like he used to when I was a child. But with the turn of my head, everything goes back to normal.
到了，就在那里。
We are here. Look over there. I feel the need to shout out the background scenery, because God, it's beautiful. We turned to see where Wu Zizhu was pointed. Lined along the banks were boats of various sizes, the captains kneeling at the bow of their individual ships. Wu Zizhu follows behind me as I slowly walk to the first boat. If I wasn't used to him, I would be like the captains on these boats, trembling with the awe of his murderous intent. No boat catches our attention. It's blackened with dirt. The captain has also prostrated himself so low that you can see a pile of dirty sails bunched up in the clump behind him. Although there was nothing special about it, something does not seem quite right.
里面还有其他人吗？
Is there anyone else inside there? Wu Zishu suddenly walks up and onto the boat. His voice is deep and his speech is slow, causing all who hear it to fall into a deep sense of threat. However, the captain does not even lift his head. Suddenly I realize the danger, discreetly pull out my sword. But the rest of the detained captains were watching us with great interest. Only the words captain fails to move a muscle.
答话！
Answer me. The captain then leaps up abruptly. Wu Zishu is ready for it. And with the wave of his sword, he cuts down the man. The body of the captain falls into the water. After a moment of stunned silence, all of the captains who witnessed it suddenly go into an uproar. Wu Zishu lifts up the clump of dirty sail, and underneath it lies a hidden comatose youth. The youth is wearing simple clothes, but are more refined than a commoner's. He has thin shoulders, a slender waist, and a face that is no larger than my palm. Rather than delicate youth, it might be more convincing to say that he is a girl who had just turned 15. This was the archival officer from the Kingdom of Kui. Wu Zishu shoots me a look that tells me to stop talking. Feeling such secrets would only bring more trouble. I approach the unconscious girl and watch her breathe steadily. She does not appear to be injured, but her hands are clutching something tightly to her chest. She's clutching a dagger under her sleeves. The guard of the dagger is covered with the intricate design of a bird with precious stones for eyes. It's very beautiful. Ooh! Ooh! Soon you're gonna hear a voice talking. But Minister, did you see that?
这把短剑不是俗物，可以好好调查。
That is no ordinary dagger. We need to examine it more closely. I was talking about that. I'm looking at Cthulhu in the sky, I think. An unforgettable feeling washes over me. I reach out to take the inauspicious dagger away from the girl, but when I touch it... Oh. My chest. Cool.
少君
My liege. Hurt so badly. Chapter 2! Oh no! This is all a nightmare. Where am I? Probably with Joe. It's another dream. Your nation will crumble. Families will be torn apart. Everything you treasure will be turned to ash. We will forget not our revenge, and swear to break the sacred vow. This will keep out of my mind. My chest is hurting so much. When I extend my hand over my chest, I feel like the pain were transferring to my fingertips. The pain. I'm scared. Try to cry out, but only produce a hoarse hissing sound. My throat is filled with torn cotton batting. The bones that have been exposed to the air quickly blackens and crumbles to pieces. My body finally decomposes. It slowly turns into dust that is being carried away by the wind. Did I seriously die? Now that your body is dead, Fushai, and your soul is destroyed, you are finally following in the footsteps of the kings that have gone on before you. I'm not Fushai. I'm Games! How you doing? You are a traitor.
不过可惜啊，凡人是不可能更改神盟的。姬无一族犯下弑神大罪，必将。
But it is a shame that humans cannot alter the sacred vow. The royal family of Ni have committed a great travesty against the gods that will surely be avenged 1,000 times over. In despair, I hug my broken body tightly. If I cry now, would tears or blood or my eyeballs fall out? Or does it break through the darkness? Ah! Flashbang. Many dots. It's the jade fish. Then I hear a familiar song. It instantly transports me back to the time from my childhood. There, my fears, pain, and despair disappear. On the edges of my consciousness, a large, pale green fish swims by as the song seems to trail behind it. I watch it swish its tail, and a certain youth almost comes to mind. In my hazy memories, he is singing an all too familiar children's song. I stare at him quietly, fearing that my memory of him will disappear if I interrupt him. Why are the years of one's childhood shorter than those of a beautiful dream? The youth gives me a cheerful smile. He says, Flashbang, don't be afraid. My throat is dry, and my eyes are sore as the feeling begins to return to my fingertips. I didn't die. And I should have, but I didn't. Seems like my nightmare is over. The lights outside are burning bright, and it appears the night has fallen upon us.
少君醒了。
Are you awake, my liege? Chen Feng, what's up? Where am I? Chen Feng holds me up by my shoulders, and the wet cloth falls from my forehead.
相国说，少君在河边昏倒后就发起了烧，所以他将您和那名齐国史官都带到了鸡庙别院。
The Prime Minister also said that you, my liege, had started to burn up with fever right after fainting, so he had you and that archival officer from Kui brought to the temple. Did you manage to capture the other rebel?
在蓝月湖边的一处山洞外找到了，不过他打算鱼死网破，已被陈峰斩杀。
We found her trying to break out of the nets by the shores of Moon Lake, so I had to decapitate her. Just a simple sentence. Good. As long as you return to us unharmed, then all is well. We had to go and see the officer from Kui. Give me my change of clothes.
诺。
Understood. It is strange that you're not stopping me.
怕少君不喜。
I'm afraid that my objection will displease you, my liege. Look at how cute. Are you afraid of displeasing me? Last time you made me so angry was when you finished all of the treats given to me by the kingdom of Rui. Even after doing that, your expression remained so impassive.
陈峰得为少君试毒。
I was only testing them for poison. You don't have to eat all of them just to test them for poison.
每块点心都不一样，无法区分。
All the treats were different, and I was unable to tell them apart. Oh, how noble of you, and how petty of me.
越国点心挺好吃的。
It seems the treats from Rui were really quite delicious. Hey!
少君，我为您系上鱼玉吧。
My liege, let me tie the jadefish amulet to your belt. It was only then that I noticed I've been clutching onto the jadefish this whole time. I handed it over to Chen Feng with a sigh. I had another nightmare just now. It's a good thing I also have this jade amulet.
要是遗光还在就更好了，他肯定能彻底驱走那些噩梦，不让少君为病痛所苦。
If only Yi Guang was still around, he would have been more than capable of chasing down the bad dreams and relieving you of the pain of your afflictions. While Chen Feng fastens the jade amulet to my belt, he suddenly stills his hands. A hint of vexation falls over his usually calm demeanor. Yes, how nice it would be if Yi Guang were here? My heart aches at the thought as I change the subject. I'm trying to live him well right now.
都是陈峰无能，连替您受苦都做不到。
I curse the fact that I'm so helpless and unable to shoulder your burdens for you. Thank you. The fact that you're willing to shoulder my burdens has made me very happy. After all, if you were not here, there would be no one else to whom I could complain.
少君，
Is that a little blushy, I see? My liege. Ah, but please try to control your appetite a bit more next time. At the very least, leave a bite of the treats to try.
诺。
Understood. I burst out laughing when I hear him reply in such a serious manner. The pain in my chest lessens a little. However, speaking of the treats in the kingdom of Rui, I hesitate a little before asking. Do you know how the king of Rui is faring?
听说还关在守灵人小屋。
I heard that he is still locked up and guarded in that hut.
少君，相国说齐国公孙乙现在候于正厅，少君醒来就请整理好衣冠，马上过去。
My liege, the Prime Minister said that Gong Sun Yi is now waiting for you at the main hall. If my liege is awake, please make yourself presentable and go there immediately. Gong So Yi, why is he here? Chen Feng shoots me a look that tells me he has no idea what this could be about either. I quickly put on my headwear and rush out of the room. Just as I open the doors, I quietly whisper some instructions to Chen Feng. Go to the hut by the mausoleum and keep an eye on the guards. Make sure they don't make things difficult for Gong Zhane.
诺。
Understood.
吴相国，你让士兵将我们挟持至此，究竟是什么意思啊？
Prime Minister Wu, why are your guards holding us here?
先生带护卫深夜潜入吴国先王祭庙陵墓，我倒想知道先生什么意思。
I would like to know why you, good sir, and your guards were caught sneaking into the mausoleum of Ni's former king in the middle of the night.
明知故问，我们在驿馆等了1天1夜了，不但没有任何消息，大王还派士兵软禁我们，我们不来亲自确认，还能怎么办？
I should know why. What else was I supposed to do? We were placed under house arrest in the guest house for a day and a night without any news. But we agreed on 2 days. On hearing my voice, Gang Shouyi and Wu Zizhu both stopped arguing to greet me with a bow.
既然期限未到，先生何必又做出此等失礼之事呢？
Since we are still within the agreed deadline, would a gentleman such as yourself do something so rude and unresponsible? Gang Shouyi's face turns red, then pales. This person is so reckless and impatient that he would place himself in such a precarious position as to give Wu Zizhu and I the advantage. Then we have no reason to suspect he has a hidden agenda. Prime Minister, I believe you are being too harsh. After all, this is family friend that we're talking about. Gang Shouyi was just worried himself into a frenzy.
臣向先生赔不是。
I apologize.
不过先生连1天都等不及，这种关心程度，也实在异于常人啊。
The fact that you are so worried that you cannot wait even 1 more day makes me wonder what sort of relationship you must have with your missing officer.
公事随臣，私事事交，岂能不急？
In court, he is my subordinate, hence my responsibility. Personally, he is a family friend, thus I am obligated to look after him. How could I calmly wait for news of him? Are you sure?
大王此话何意？
Majesty, whatever do you mean? You barged into our court, and yet we defended you from your own ministers, and even promised to find your friend within 2 days. We did all these things because we admire your loyalty to your friend and to your king. However, as soon as our backs were turned, you tried sneaking into a forbidden temple. Have you no regard for us?
大王，这是在藐视君威啊！
Your Majesty, this is high treason. Look at the smile on his face. God, no.
外臣绝无此意。
That was not my intention. Enough. It is clear that you, Gang Shouyi, are mocking us. You're writing a letter to your king, and you can forget about saving your lowly officer. When he hears how serious my tone is, and sees my stern expression, Gang Shouyi prostrates himself on the ground with a loud thud. His voice quivers as he speaks.
求大王务必救回齐军爱妹少江。
I beg your Majesty to rescue the King of Kui's beloved sister, Shoujian. The child is ours.
女公子听说要嫁到吴国，便吵着要见吴王一面。齐军向来宠溺小妹，哪经得住他软磨硬泡？同意他扮作男子，随外臣来吴国。
When the princess heard that she was to be married to the King of Ni, she insisted on meeting you at least once prior. King of Kui spoils his sister, and had agreed to let her come in the guise of a man.
没想到，没想到！哎，
To think that it's ridiculous.
大王，外臣真的不是故意激怒您。如果不能带女公子安全返回齐国的话，外臣罪该万死啊！
Your Majesty, it was not my intention to anger you. But if I do not deliver the princess safely back to the kingdom of Kui, I'll be sentenced to 1,000 deaths. Fine. Should Shou Zhang be our bright to be, how can we stand by and do nothing? Rest assured, we shall do our best to find her.
歹徒只是将人挟持，必定有所求。女公子性命应该无忧。
The perpetrators have only kidnapped her, and may yet use her to make demands for us. The princess's life should be in no danger.
齐国使团在异国他乡行事也不方便， 不如安心交给我们秘密查访，以免打草惊蛇。
It wouldn't be convenient for agents of Kui to move around in a foreign country. So why don't you let us investigate the matter secretly, lest we alert the enemy?
相国所言不无道理，但那毕竟是女公子，齐军若是来信催促，我又该怎么交代呢？
The Prime Minister has a point. However, we're talking about the princess. If the King of Kui sends a letter regarding the matter, how should I respond? Although we cannot guarantee that we will find the princess immediately, we will send someone to investigate the matter right away, and we'll give you an update in 2 days.
我就算掘地3尺，也会将女公子平安带回来的。
Even if I have to dig into the ground a mile deep, I promise to bring the princess back safely and in one piece.
天也快亮了，我这就备车将先生送回驿馆休息。今天上虎丘之事，还望先生暂时保密。
Morning will be here soon. I will go and prepare the carriage to take the envoy back to the guest house to rest. I hope that you will keep the secret what happened today at Tiger House.
外臣明白，就拜托大王了。
Yes, I understand. I'll leave the matter in your hands, Your Majesty. Gong Yin bows deeply before turning around and walking away despondently. Cannot believe he has any other option but to trust us in this matter. After Wu Zishu sends Gong Yi out the door, he turns around and pulls me into an empty room.
少君，相国。
Yay! It's Zhang Dan! My liege, Prime Minister.
那少女还没醒吗？
Has the young girl awakened? Zhang Dan frowns and shakes his head while pointing toward the soft couch. The young girl we saved yesterday is still sleeping, but her complexion looks even worse than before. Her lips have turned dark purple, and she appears to be in pain. Why is she still holding onto the dagger? This time I'm sure it was not just me. The dagger is giving me a bad feeling. Could it be the cause of Shou Jiang's current predicament?
少君别动！
My liege, don't move. Black Shadow pounces off the blade as Wu pulls me behind him in the blink of an eye. The horrid thing is like a mist, but it gives off the smell of dead bodies. With shocking speed, and before we can react, it loses the distance between us with a whoosh. Why do I keep getting flashbanged? Just as we are about to be swallowed by the black mist, it suddenly stops as if hitting an invisible wall, then disappears. Wu Zishu and Zhang Dan are both wearing serious expressions. I guess what just happened was not my imagination. What exactly is that dagger?
恐怕是愿咒的媒介。这少女到现在还昏睡不醒，是因为中了咒术。
I'm afraid it is an instrument to carry out the curse. The fact that this young girl is still unconscious is also a result of the curse.
致命吗？
Will she die?
就像慢性毒药，钝刀杀人。少君切勿再动那把短剑，否则可能也被咒术缠上。
It's like a selecting poison that will kill a person after a period of time. My liege, please do not touch the dagger. If you do, you may also become poisoned, or cursed, same thing. Is the head priest able to break this curse?
我试过了，这咒术很是怨毒，以3重命为代价，恐怕连施法者都天命了，凭我一人无法相敌。
I have tried, but this curse is very vicious. It requires 3 lives to break it, including the spellcasters. I'm afraid that I alone will not suffice. Why are they casting such malicious curses on innocent people? Worried I look at Shou Jiang. This young girl is going to die in her prime simply because she was curious about her husband-to-be, who is actually a woman. Head priest, her expression seems to have become peaceful.
好像有什么力量驱散了邪气，莫非是刚刚保护少君的微光？
Yes, it seems as if there's a strong force fighting against the malicious curse. Could be the light that protected my liege. Light. I glanced at the jade fish on my waist, and I see it looking the same as usual. If anything could protect us from the curse, it would be this jade amulet.
少君，那玉佩可否借我一看？
My liege, can I see the amulet? Yes. Once Zhang Dan gets his hands on the jade fish, his face lights up with
难
understanding.
怪，这块玉里有很强大的巫力，肯定是他驱散了邪气。
No wonder. This amulet holds a strong power. It can undoubtedly help break this curse. Before he died, it was given to us by our childhood friend, Shi Yiguang. It had saved our life once before, during the sacrificial ritual.
施遗光啊，就是施家大主夫妇的那个天才儿子啊！我在成为郑家家主之前，可是常听到他的大名呢。
Shi Yiguang. Wow. Literally the genius from the Shi family, and the son of the previous head priest and head priestess. I heard a lot of good things about him even before I became the head of the Zhang family and the head priest. When I heard him talk about Yiguang so casually, I grew speechless. I can only nod my head.
余玉既然能驱逐邪气，那么大柱可用它解除这个咒术吧。
If this jadefish amulet can dispel malicious spells, can it be used to break this curse?
不能。刚刚我稍微一试，他将我的巫力弹回来了。器物有灵，想来应该是玉灵认了施遗光为主，所以遵从他的命令保护少君。
Sorry, I've already tried that, but my magic just bounces back. Apparently this amulet has a will of its own. It only recognizes Shi Yiguang as its owner, and is protecting my liege, as it was commanded to do. But isn't Yiguang...
可见施遗光保护少君的意愿非常强烈啊。
To think that Shi Yiguang's final wish was to protect my liege was so strong.
可惜，没主人驱使，也只能被动起作用了。幸好它还有一定威力。
It is a pity that without an owner, it can only work passively. Luckily, it still has some power. Like what happened just now.
没错，可不是把相国也护住了？
That's right, it did not protect the Prime Minister too.
狱中的纯净巫力可驱邪，如果少君待在这少女的身边，大概她被邪气侵蚀的时间也会变缓一些。
The pure magic of this jade can purify evil. If my liege is willing to stay by the side of this young girl, it can slow down and alleviate the effects of this curse.
难不成少君还得时时刻刻带着这孩子吗？
You don't expect my liege to take the child wherever she goes, do you?
那倒是不必，没有解咒之法，也就只有早死和晚死几天的区别而已。
That would be unnecessary. After all, if you don't break the curse, sooner or later she will die. It will only take a few days. I don't know if it is Zhang Dan's talk about death, or the memory of Yi Guang that caused me to feel something evil spark in my heart. If only we had succeeded in killing the dragon god 5 years ago, the head priest and head priestess would still be of the Shi clan. And not only would we be able to save Xiaogyong, but we would also have nothing to worry about, would we not?
少君，
My liege. I suddenly made aware of what I just said. About to apologize to Zhang Dan when he smiles and waves his hand dismissively.
少君说得对，施家本就是吴越第一武，就连楚国的巫野也自叹不如。
My liege is not wrong. The mages of the Shi clan were the most powerful mages in the kingdoms of Nig and Yui. Even the mages of the kingdom of Chu could not overcome them.
少主遗光的才能，更是令巫者艳羡，就连我也未能免俗，有些嫉妒他呢。
Even the young Yi Guang was extraordinarily talented and was admired by every mage. I am sure that I will never be able to measure up to him in my lifetime. Truth be told, I'm quite envious of him.
不过，斯人已逝，我们也只能基于现实想办法了。我去准备些补气的药，至少让他的气血足够扛到回齐国吧。
But no one can bring back the dead. We can only resolve this on our own. I'll prepare some medicine so that she will endure the journey back to the kingdom of Kui.
少君，
My liege, you understand, it is our fault after all.
臣以为我们是得基于现实想办法了。少将随时会死，我们得对公孙先生和齐军有个交代。
I thought that we were going to find a solution. Since Xiao Guiyong may die at any moment, we should at least report it to Mr. Gong Sunyi and the King of Kui. Even if those villains were still alive and had been handed over to the King of Kui, do you really think he would believe our incredulous explanation?
即使相信了，反倒是握住了吴国的软肋，断不可行。
Even if he does believe it, he would be able to hold the kingdom of Ni accountable and would likely break our alliance. We have heard that the King of Kui is a willful person, and when he went to the kingdom of Lu to take back his queen, he invaded many of its cities. If his precious sister were to die here in Ni, we do not believe he would break only our alliance.
还有一个办法，
There's another way. Putting my troubled thoughts aside, I raise my downcast eyes to look at Wu Zishu. With his hands together, he throws out his arms and bends the waist with a deep bow.
臣请少君诛杀越王勾践。
I beg my liege to execute the king of Yui, Huao Zhan. What? Prime Minister, do you know what you are asking?
少君不是想知道臣为何要扣押勾践吗？
Does my liege not wish to know why I detained Gao Zhan?
虎丘看守严密，封神阵之事也只有极少数人知道。龙神信徒知道禁区所在，还熟知水道地形，能提供这两样情报的，这世上只能数出寥寥几人。
He said, I beg of you, start a civil war. Few people know about the guards on Tiger Hill. And even if you would have provided the Dragon God's followers with information about its forbidden areas, waterways, and terrain. This is purely the Prime Minister's speculation. While Zhan is entirely ignorant of the Dragon God and the matters regarding its seal.
这同样是少君的妄断。假如两者勾结，难道龙神信徒不会告诉勾践吗？
That is also an assumption, my liege. If they are in cahoots, would not the followers of the Dragon God share their information with him?
少君不妨再想想，如果龙神信徒得逞，谁能获利最多？反之亦然。你能想到的，别人也能想到。
My liege, if the Dragon God's followers were successful, who else would most benefit from it? On the other hand, if you could think of it, someone else has already thought of it. Wu Zishu raises his hand and shoots me a look. It feels like he wants to extract a logical explanation for my confusion, and chain up any excuse I may have for pardoning Guo Zhong. When the king of Yui lost the war, he offered to guard the former king's mausoleum as part of his reparation, and so we agreed to pardon him. Would our honor not be in question if we went back on our word now?
少君宽恕勾践杀父之仇，已是天下罕见的美德了。如今勾践图谋不轨，害死女公子，世人只会看到他忘恩负义。
It was divinely gracious of you to forgive Guo Zhang for killing your father. Now, everyone will see him as an ingrate for conspiring to kill the princess. No, that's not logical. The kidnappers may not have known that the victim was the princess of Kui. And even if they wanted to start a war or even threaten us, did they really need to use such a dark spell?
这些问题肯定需要详细调查，但齐军和世人需要知道的真相，只要合乎情理就够了。
We need to investigate further for the questions to be answered. However, the king of Kui, as well as the rest of the world, needs a reasonable explanation. So this should suffice for now.
少君不也说，即使抓住龙神信徒，也会被当成笑话看吗？
Did my liege not say that even if he catches the followers of the Dragon God, it will still be the laughingstock of the world?
既要赶紧送少将回国，又要阻止齐军发兵，时间紧迫，我们只能先治罪，再查证了。
Right now, we not only need to expedite Xiao Zhang back to her kingdom, but also prevent the King of Kui from waging a war against us. We're facing an extremely tight schedule, and can only convict him now. We can look into it further at a later time. Then wouldn't Gao Zhong be nothing more than a scapegoat? Wu Zishu pauses, and he finally speaks again. His voice holds an unutterable sadness in it.
先王逝去还不满3年，血都没冷透，少君当真觉得勾践无辜吗？
It has not yet been 3 years since the former king passed away, and memories of him are still very fresh. Does my liege really believe Gao Xian is innocent? The late king had his life taken by the sacred seal of the dragon god, but right before that, he was already seriously wounded by the Yu's general Ling Jufu, who had been acting on Gao Xian's command. None of these men has killed my father with his own hands, nor are they innocent of his blood. Now the dragon god is trapped inside the demon. Ling Jufu died in battle. Guo Zheng has entered Nig as a slave, and that all our enemies have seemingly placed themselves at our mercy. But we are well aware of the danger lurking beneath the surface. The Prime Minister is saying that we shall have no loose ends and spare no one.
豺狼卧于榻下，岂能安眠？从咬死你父王的那一刻起，他就永远惦记着血的味道了。
Shall we not be robbed of a single good night's sleep unless there is no ravenous wolf lurking in our shadows? From the moment it took your father's life, it has not been able to forget the taste of blood.
少君若要贯彻先王遗志，万万不能留下后患。
If my liege means to carry out the former king's final wishes, then you mustn't leave any loose ends. As I cannot feel what he just said, I can only shake my head sadly. I know, but to leave no loose ends, spare no one. I cannot help but to recall the times when I was a helpless victim who survived narrow escapes from the merciless slaughter of the dragon god, and those sanguinary coups committed by ambitious aspirations, like Fu Gai. When a single careless move would have risked me everything, but no one at the time had ever thought of sparing me. I had my life and even my dignity at the mercy of those who had once dominated my fate. It should be but water under the bridge, and yet could it be said that all those agonies that I had been suffering have too vanished into thin air? How much I suffered from those agonies then is how much I resent those making me suffered from their cruel deeds. Who could have thought that I am now dominating over another person, that his life and his dignity are all at my mercy?
少君不说话，是另有良策了吗？
Are you silent because you have a better plan, my liege? There is no better plan. Who would benefit the most from it? The kingdom of Nig would benefit the most from pinning the crime on Guo Zheng. I do, however, have to become the kind of person whom I resented and despised most, even though this is exactly what the late king would have chosen to be. The late king has determined that to seal the dragon god by hook or by crook, as he dared spill innocent blood of the entire Shi clan. By so, he has taken away from me one of those remaining people on earth who are near and dear to me, and that he has also stolen my dearest father away. His gentle smile eventually turned into the face of a furious revenger, even though the kingdom has benefited from the king's cruel deeds. I understood, of course, that all of these were done as a last resort, and his mean of survival. but I could not help thinking whether this was the only possible way. If I were in the same shoes, would I have done the same thing that the Dragon God did? That I would slaughter thousands of people, just like my brothers, and remain unsympathetic to it? Would it be the same as the late king? That I would dare spill innocent blood of the people, like the Shi clan, to achieve my goal? And would I care if the people like Ayu, who lost their loved ones and suffered from agonies of grief ever since? Would I need to be the same heartless murderer so that my kingdom could benefit from it?
那少君还犹豫什么？
Then why are you hesitating, my liege?
杀父之仇，诸神破盟，连其北上，哪桩不是身为吴王必须做的大事？难道你忘了3年前的誓言了？
I didn't realize I was talking out loud. Whoops, my bad. Are those not things that you must do as the king of need to avenge your murdered father, to break the sacred vow, and to expand your alliance northward? Or have you forgotten the promise you made 3 years ago? You will forget not our revenge. You will swear to break the sacred vow.
既然不忘，就不可以以权谋私。你放弃私仇，我佩服你心胸宽广；你不愿澄清，我体谅你志向远大。
Since you have not forgotten your vows, then you should not seek power for personal feelings. I admire you for letting go of your personal grudges and understand your ambitions when you turn down offers of marriage.
但是你要对着一头饿狼心软，就是善恶不分，是非不辨。恕臣不能苟同。
But if you let a ravenous wolf like Wojan off the hook, that would only mean that you have no sense of right and wrong, and I will have to beg to differ. My heart is pounding with the overwhelming intensity and hatred and grief, in which the faces, my deadly enemies, and my loved ones are becoming one. They are demanding that Fu Shai shall revenge in blood and violence, while begging at the same time that all you shall not repeat the dastardly deeds that have been wrongly done to them. I feel deeply disturbed, and every single night and every single dream that I have no control on, these voices have never ever allowed me to let go. Is that not exactly what Wu Zishu had just said? That ever could I be not robbed of a single good night's sleep?
少君，勿重私情，以国为重啊！
My liege, please place your kingdom before your personal feelings. When have we not placed the good of the kingdom before anything else? Even our life is not as important as the good of the kingdom. Put the pillar next to me with all of my might. How would it ever be possible that I'm doing this only out of some personal feelings for a certain somebody? Those conflicted emotions nearly rip me in half, and I find them so hard to carry on. Maybe all of these do not matter anymore. The seal of the Dragon God seems to be weakening, and I don't know how much longer I can stay alive. These are the things I cannot share with Wu Zishu. Those weak and fragile feelings, those agonies of grief and hesitation, they never should have existed in the first place. This matter involves 3 countries. Well, we will take your words into consideration. We must deliberate over the matter before coming to a decision. Wu Zishu wants to continue the discussion, but I do not wish to argue with him any further, so I turn around and refuse to look back. I step out of the rural gardens, with my head still spinning from the decision. I feel like I cannot breathe. He left my jadefish amulet. Since the pain is not caused by the sacred seal, it can only serve to comfort me. The blooded water once filling Lake Tai in the Sword Pond all those years ago is, again, flashing before my eyes. I wonder if my friend ever regretted giving the jadefish to me at that time. Isn't kith and kin more important than the kingdom of Neeg? I laughed to myself. Between the kingdom and family, the Shi clan chose the kingdom over their own family, whereas Fu Shai should be the only one with his kingdom and nothing else. And yet here I am, still being trapped in the past long gone.
少君，
My liege. Chenfeng, why are you not at the caretaker's hut?
我正要向少君禀报，勾践从其居所逃脱。
Here to report that Guo Zhang has escaped from the hut. Who's surprised? Gonna be me. What?
相国要审问勾践，命守卫打开内室房门，没想到勾践已经拆下窗户逃跑了。
The Prime Minister went into his cell to interrogate him. He had already escaped through the window. Why is there a window in the interrogation area? Idiots. Do you know where he is?
不知，不过在他脱身的窗台上钉了一根布条。
No, I'm sorry, but he nailed a piece of cloth to the window from which he had escaped. Chenfeng, we want you to hide near the Korean stream. Make sure that you are able to see us talking to Guo Zhang, and that no one else can listen in on our conversation.
如果勾践要对少君不利，
What happens if Guo Zhang attacks you? He will not. But even if he does, we still have you.
no，
Understood. A young slave stands along the edge of the stream. Though his clothes are warm, they are immaculate. The 3 years he has lived as a slave have not diminished any of his noble bearings. Without me realizing it, my hurried pace slows down. The 3 years of friendship was established in this dream-like and sandy place. I'd hoped that I would not have to face the harsh reality before this land collapses. To personally destroy a sandy, dreamlike dreamland is one thing. To have the tides destroy it is yet another. Honestly speaking, what happened that year was an accident that should never have happened.Aju. It's red hair! I guess brown hair in this photo. The youth turns toward me with a smile.
你果然见到布条了。
You saw the piece of cloth. Why did you call me here?
3年前在这养鹤涧，你去捡掉到水里的玉佩，我却以为你要寻死，强行把你拽上了岸，结果被你揍了一顿。
3 years ago, it was in this stream that you dropped your amulet and had gone looking for it in the water. I thought you were trying to drown yourself, and I dragged you to shore, only to get beaten up by you.
我们相识的场景真是很尴尬。
The way we met was very awkward. Yeah.
虽然你是我唯一的知心好友，今天我却不得不让你再尴尬一回了。
Even though you are my only close friend, I will need to make things awkward again. Suddenly, Guo Zhang's expression turns serious. He faces me, gets down on his knees, then bows.
罪臣勾践失礼于大王，求大王救我！
Pardon my impropriety, but I beg your majesty to save me. You. How long have you known that I'm the king of Neeg?
你既不是寂渺的巫祝，又带着虎贲氏自由出入附近。我不是傻子，怎么会看不出来你身份特殊？
You are not a priest, yet you command the guards on Tiger Hill. I'm not stupid. How could I not see that you were someone with authority?
昨天你2次交代士兵宽待我，已经证实了我的猜测，所以我才冒死逃出来找你声明，我是清白的。
Yesterday, you told the guard to be lenient with me. Twice. That confirmed my suspicions. Which is why, at the risk of losing my life, I escaped so I could declare my innocence to you. If you were truly innocent, you needn't have come to me. To us, to explain yourself.
武相国对我猜忌至深，要先斩后奏。我恐怕等不到更好的伸冤机会了。大王尽可以派人调查，勾践从未谋害过骑士。
Prime Minister Wu is suspicious of me and intends to condemn me before seeking out the truth. I was afraid that I would not have had the chance to clear my name. Your Majesty, please investigate this matter. I, Guo Zhang, have never once plotted against you. Whether you are innocent or not isn't important. The princess is already under a curse and will die very soon. What's worse is that she's the king of Kui's most beloved younger sister.
小妹，
Younger sister.
我明白了。所以，越王勾践便是最合适抵罪的人。
I understand. That is why the king of Yue, Guangzhang, is the most suitable scapegoat. Look at him silently. It is as Wu Zishu said. If I could think of it, at least I've thought of it too. Hence, this is the most logical answer. Wu suddenly raises his head. He wears a determined expression, his eyes burning bright like searing flames. I'm moved to see the flames in his eyes. I feel a sharp pain, as if they've burned me.
越国有神医，可救齐国女公子。
There's a divine doctor in the kingdom of Wei that can create miracles. He can save the princess of Kui. What?
之前听闻大王身体欠佳，我派人四处寻访名医，希望能表我忠心。今日正好为大王解困。
There was a time where I heard that Your Majesty was in poor health, so to prove my loyalty, I searched diligently for a doctor to cure you. Finally, the time has come for you to use him. Thank you for your kind intentions. The doctors cure illnesses, and the princess suffers from a curse.
我称其为神医，正是因为他不仅医术了得，也精通神鬼咒术。
The reason I call him a divine doctor is because he can not only cure illnesses, but he can also dispel curses and hexes. Do not tell such lies, even if it means that your life might be spared.
大王自然不肯轻信于我，神医难求，怎可能像这般唾手可得？大王不知的却是，这神医是我耗尽心血，花费了许多时间才寻来的。
Your Majesty, please believe me. Do you think it was easy for me to find such a capable divine doctor? It took a lot of time, effort, and resources. And if you are telling the truth, we are curious to know why you would go to such lengths to find him.
我
Now tell us that you are sincere about healing us. Even Nig's many ministers could not put that much effort into finding us a healer. Not to mention, you haven't yet confirmed that I am the king of Nig.
好吧，我也不瞒大王，寻医表忠心，确实只是漂亮的场面话。
Fine, I will not try to deceive you. Saying that I wish to prove my loyalty to you by finding you medical help is nothing more than flattery.
我留的这条命，全凭大王恩典。若还不懂得讨大王欢心，怕是朝不保夕啊。
The simple fact that I'm still alive today is all thanks to your mercy. If I do not do something to please your majesty, I may not even survive beyond this night. Wu Zheng, we have to ask ourselves, when have we ever mistreated you? Even guarding the former king's mausoleum was your request.
罪臣当然知道，大王待我甚好。可是，那又如何呢？
I know, your majesty treats me well, but what of it?
如今，我还是得跪在大王面前，恳求您放我一条生路。
Even now, I must kneel in front of your majesty to beg for your mercy. We.
难道我不该费尽心思讨好你？难道我不该抓住每一个机会，为自己的命多求一份保障？
Should I not do anything to please you? Should I not take every opportunity to guarantee my survival?
难道我不该献上稀世奇人，好叫大王记住我、赏识我？难道寻常医者能够令人眼前一亮吗？
Should I not find a rare person just so your majesty might remember and reward me? Would not a patient's eyes light up with hope over such a doctor?
如果你是我，难道你不会这样做？
Hey, if you were me, would you do the same? And with that, I'm going to end this episode here. So thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you later.